You know what? So, Sports Ball Podcast, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It's brand new.
It is a podcast.
Well, it's not a thing technically yet.
But it is.
Well, I mean,
or is it not?
Like,
oh no,
I don't know. I mean, it is kind of a forest in the woods situation right now because the podcast is not fully recorded or out. So, is it a podcast?
We are talking to you from the past. Okay, so I think if we're actually going to talk sports, I want to at least talk about I'm not the biggest fan of college football. No. I've never really been a fan of college football, but my family is, no one in my family is, so it's
Georgia looked good, that's all I know.
All I know is that somehow that kicker for ECU is still alive somehow, and
App State scored 40 points and lost.
Dude, did you watch the ECU game?
No, I don't watch college football.
Okay, so I only watched it because I was in Greenville this weekend. So going into the second half, I believe it was 21-7 NC State. And I was like, okay, this game's fucking over. So me and TK, we go watch it at a bar, and NC State doesn't score the rest of the game. They have 21 points. ECU marches down. They score again, whatever. They get to 20 points. They're going for the extra point kick, and the kicker shanks it, I swear, 20 feet to the left. The cameraman had to zoom out and pan to the left to see exactly where the ball went. It was atrocious. I've never seen someone miss an extra point that bad in my entire life. And then...
You've never watched a Buccaneers game.
Facts. But then also, ECU was coming down the field again, man. And they were just going for the field goal to win. They had 10 seconds left. They were running out. It was probably a 35-yard, maybe 40 field goal. And this motherfucker missed it again, dude. And we were looking at his Instagram. The most recent post, right after that happened, had 100 comments on it or whatever.
Oh,
we checked an hour later. That thing had 700 comments on it, dude. And they were all just so when are you transferring? And one they're a lot just I wouldn't come outside for a week. It's dude. Because NC State was heavy favorites in that game.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was that close, and the defense had a pick at the last minute too to get in that last drive to get the field goal and all that, and he's still fucking.
Hey, it's a testament to small schools in North Carolina. Look at App State, look at ECU, and then look at Charlotte losing to William and Mary.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember growing up, UNCC. Whoever it was, I think it was the owner or the dean or whatever, they were like, yeah, we'll never have a football team. Mm-hmm. Because I believe that their son or something like that had a serious injury that occurred whenever he was playing football or something like that. So this school will never have a football team, blah, 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 blah.
Are you sure that's not UNC Wilmington?
No, it's UNCC.
Okay.
And they're so it might be that too, but I know for sure it's UNCC.
Charlotte did have something like this.
Yeah, but it was Charlotte, and then that person died or whatever, the person that had that rule. And the next person that came, they're within the year, they're Charlotte's having a football team! Yeah. And then it's just been, it's damn, dude. They really went on that immediately. But, I don't know. It was nice to see them go to that bowl game a few years ago, but I don't know.
They've sucked ever since.
They're
their
pretty
defense
fucking
has
mediocre.
been horrendous.
Yeah, they're mediocre. It's cool to see that they've had a few people go to the NFL and be successful.
Larry O, man. Larry O.
Yeah, but for the most part, they've definitely been really mediocre. And the fact that they just moved up a Division II, it's man, you guys are going to get shit on for the next 3 to 4 years, at least.
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah.
I don't think Healy's going to I don't think Healy's going to survive.
He's a good coach, though. I just don't think he can compete when it comes to, finding kids. I forget what they.
We're getting out.
College,
we're getting out. What you can call it, scouting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC,
recruiting.
Thank you.
Thank you for the word, sir. Thank you.
See, as we're talking about college football, we have to remind ourselves we don't know nothing about college football.
Yeah, so I know a little bit. I don't know a lot though. I don't know a lot of the players.
But yeah, the SEC schools are coming up here and recruiting these kids.
I have gotten a little bit.
Bama and LSU and all that shit.
I have gotten a little bit more familiar in the last week with the VT traditions.
I love VT, man. I've been to.
Dude, they just lost the Old Dominion, man.
See, that shit's embarrassing as hell.
Dude, didn't Old Dominion just beat a big school a couple years ago?
When I say VT traditions, I mainly mean
Enter Sandman.
Kind of.
No, yeah.
Not even that.
I would just being in there for that stadium for that is unreal, dude. Everyone's like jumping up and down. It is insane. Awesome. I wish I could remember more of it.
But when I'm saying traditions, I'm saying in the style of their play, in the way that the Cowboys in the last 15 years have developed a tradition of looking incredible at some point during almost every season, and then no matter what folding, no matter how good they may look, it's always fool's gold.
What has it been? Since 94?
Dude, even though they just lost to Pittsburgh, West Virginia,
I know for me, my
Virginia.
experience with this started when Romo fumbled the field goal against the Seahawks. But anyway, I'm not a big Cowboys fan. I just think they're an interesting case study. But
I don't think anyone from our generation, speaking of the Seahawks, will ever be able to forget. Why didn't you run the ball, bro?
Dude,
all you have to say around a dude that's our age, around 20s, early 20s, you're just why didn't you run the ball? They'd be like, bruh, you got beast mode.
You got beast
He
mode.
just ate the whole bag of Skittles. Homie was ready to go, and you're gonna pass it? It's dude. Especially because it's to the Patriots, too, man.
They needed.
Fuck the Patriots, dude.
They should have had a simulation of Madden running next to Pete Carroll. That way he could have saw that Madden would have done it. He would have run up the
What's
middle.
Madden's suggestions right here?
He should have thought to himself, what would Madden do? Had one of the interns.
First and goal. I'm gonna throw it.
I'm gonna throw it.
I don't know if it was first, but it was.
I think it was first and goal.
They were like, we're gonna be so smart, bro. They're like, we got beast mode. They're never gonna expect us to throw it. And Bill Belichick's like, these dumbasses are gonna throw it. He's like, I already know. They're throwing it.
Boy.
Well, speaking of current NFL, well, I guess not really speaking of, but speaking of the NFL, let's talk about preseason though. Ravens look good as always. They always look good.
Yeah, they're 17, 18 and 0 in the
Yeah,
preseason.
something like that. I think they've gone almost a decade without losing a preseason game.
Yeah, it's insane.
Which is pretty wild. I think the Ravens always excel at having a good, solid draft, and they're just always contenders.
They just gotta stay healthy. Mm-hmm. They just gotta stay healthy.
That's the thing. But last year, remind me, was it Huntley was their backup quarterback?
Yeah.
He really surprised me last year. That's someone that I could see actually he could compete for a starting job, I think.
Ship him to Seattle, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think Seattle would actually that's a Russell Wilson 2.0 basically with the way I saw him play last year. He was impressive, but I don't know. I think Lamar Jackson, he's an MVP winner. I am a firm believer in Lamar Jackson. People say he can't throw. I think he's definitely top 5 quarterback.
He's just gotta get paid
in the NFL.
They just gotta pay him, man.
I think he's top 5. I heard rumors that he might be going to Miami if Tua doesn't do very well, because this is, I believe, the last year of his contract. I believe. Don't quote me on it. I'm no actual scientist when it comes to football. I like to talk about it, but I believe that his contract is done at the end of this year.
Lamar's is for sure.
Yes,
Lamar's
his
is for sure. Yeah.
So I believe if Tua doesn't perform well with the weapons that Miami's been stacking, especially this offseason, I think Lamar would fit into that offense very well, and I think it would be insanely dangerous. I'm not sure who the Dolphins' running back is, so he must not be the most fantastic motherfucker.
I think they
in the
signed
world.
a couple of guys off San Francisco.
Okay, but I mean, if they
one
got...
of them might be Mostert, I think. I'm not sure.
But dude, imagine if CMC gets hurt this year, we say fuck you, and he goes to Miami. Imagine CMC being in Miami with all those people, dude.
Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, those guys. Miles Gaskin. That's who we got there for the Dolphins.
I think Gaskin isn't too bad. I think.
Nah. I like Chase Edmonds. I don't know why they picked up Mostert. I think Mostert could have just stayed in San Francisco.
It's just taken up. I'm assuming he has more cap space too that he's taken up as well.
Probably. But speaking of the weapons from Miami, I think the Chiefs are looking pretty good without that weapon of Tyreek Hill.
I think they're going to be underrated.
Yes.
I think they're doing a massive philosophy pivot more so than replacing player A with next man up situation. I think they're doing kind of an offensive redesign based on what Mahomes kind of seems to need and want. because I'm sure if you're paying him that amount of money, he's going to have some input on like what he would desire in an offensive scheme.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Sky Moore is looking really good. I mean, he's flying around out there just like Tyreek Hill. And then whoever, I can't even know his name, he is wearing number 10, and I think they like him a lot. Is it who?
Juju's there.
No, not Juju. But Juju.
Well, yeah, I don't know who's wearing number 10, but I know that Juju's like.
I do think their offense
I don't think
is
he's
going to
that.
look different. Like, it's not, if people are expecting the same style of offense,
Isaiah
it's not going to be
Pacheco's,
that.
that's right.
I know Pacheco.
But I think
he's
it has
a running back.
it has potential to be equally as effective.
Yeah.
I think. Oh yeah, I mean.
They're all talking about how the AFC West has gotten, everybody's gotten better. It's like, yeah, but the Chiefs are still going to beat up on them. They still know how to beat up on their division.
It could take them a little bit to figure it out, though. So there's a potential that they could be like a really strong wild card if somebody else in the division has a really good year. If the Chiefs take a little while to figure out how to make it work, there's potential there. But
I think
I don't
Raiders.
see them absolutely falling apart for the season.
I think the Raiders are definitely like on implode alert. Like they could definitely just implode, like they always do. Josh McDaniels, I don't know if you really trust him again. I mean, he didn't do really well that first time around in Broncos, and it seems like the Patriots are just waiting for him to come back again. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But I think the Raiders could definitely implode. So I think the Broncos could potentially win the division.
I'm so in and out on the Broncos right now.
It just depends on Russell Wilson. Is he really the savior, the Peyton Manning 2.0 for this
I
team?
think
He could be, but the numbers over the past like 5 years that I've seen, and I could be wrong, but they just give me a little bit of insecurity with Russell Wilson.
Well, I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that he's in his prime.
No,
I don't think anyone would really say that Russell Wilson's going to be in his prime this year.
You have to remember.
But I think you'd also have to realize that Matthew Stafford was probably past his prime as well last year.
that's why.
But the Rams also basically paid out the ass to win that Super Bowl.
I feel like
and the Broncos aren't going to do that. And
Russell Wilson.
I don't trust the pieces around Russell Wilson, or I don't trust Wilson just enough by himself.
Wilson's also coming off the injury.
And I think that division is just too tough. You put that Broncos team in any other division, and I would say they'd be a playoff team. But they have the potential to be last in that division, but be a very successful team. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm pretty sure any team in that division could be last besides the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs. I don't know. I think
it would be it's possible, but it's a long shot with the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs at worst are going to be third and still make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders are going to be making the playoffs this year.
I can see that.
But I think the Broncos, for the reasons that you just outlined, the issue I have with the Broncos is I think the conversation around them is weird. I feel like the expectations I feel like the expectations are more out of whack than it is I think they're going to be a bad team. I think they will be a good team, but the circumstances around them kind of put the hopes of conference runs kind of in the hands of the team around the Broncos, and I think Russell's ceiling might be higher than Stafford's compared to last year, but I don't think the team around the Broncos is as stacked as the Rams.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So,
but also you have to remember the AFC is a lot harder than the NFC was last year.
AFC is stacked.
The AFC is stacked. So ridiculous. You have Buffalo. I mean, you can't forget about Buffalo coming through, but Buffalo's got a much easier
Buffalo
division.
has to be the favorite.
They have the easier division. I mean, they have to go through what? Miami, Tua, is he really that good? And that the defense is not that great.
I think the Bills are just overall the AFC Super Bowl favorite.
They have to be. I mean, they have the easier division. They'll probably get the number 1 seed.
But when you get to the NFC, it gets tricky because we were talking about this earlier. I think the Packers are going to miss the playoffs.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because I think Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, man. He's good, but he's just, I don't think we haven't really seen Aaron Rodgers without great pieces around him.
Exactly.
And this year, I think is going to be the worst personnel that he's had as a core Fire for the first time in his career is going to be this bad.
He has a good line.
But also, you look at the rest of the NFC, and you're like, well, no one else really fucking looks that good.
I know
So
Tampa
it's
Bay
like-
fell apart.
So it's like, well, I guess they probably will make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because no one else is going to be fantastic. I think the Vikings will still be better
They're my
than
dark-
them throughout
I
the regular season. But I think in the playoffs, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still going to be able to do his thing if he makes it to the playoffs. I don't know.
But
it's
he
really tough.
stinks in the playoffs, man.
He does.
Stinks in the
Well,
playoffs.
as long as he's not coming from behind. If he's coming from behind, he's not really gonna. If you look at the stats, he doesn't really have very many comeback wins
No, he doesn't.
in the playoffs. Unlike Tom Brady, where like he could be
Or
10.
Stafford.
Like, dude, no, dude, you can be Brady has proved it so many times. There's 2 minutes left in the game, and it can be like a damn 10-point deficit, and he went out and won games all the time with the Patriots like that, man. It's
28-3.
yeah, 28-3, man. But that's also defense too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Having that,
I don't know,
still
I
having
got-
that core around you, and I don't know.
I got a couple of dark horses for the Super Bowl. I kind of got the Vikings. I don't know. I feel like they could easily win that division if the Packers, like we were talking about, kind of fall apart. But my biggest dark horse for the Super Bowl, and I feel like a lot of people could agree with this, I kind of feel like the Eagles, man. I feel like the Eagles are just going to come out of nowhere and win the NFC. I feel like it's just, if there's such an easy path for them, their division's going to be so fucking easy.
They have
They're
some
gonna be
good.
so easy.
They have a lot of slept-on pieces. And
Jalen Hurts definitely played better.
He can be
when
that
you
guy.
look back on last season as a
Ja-
totality.
Jalen
then I
Hurts
feel like
can
the
be that guy.
conversation dictates right now.
I mean, they got him A.J. Brown. They finally got rid of J.J. Arthea-Whiteside. They finally got rid of Jalen Reagor. So it's like their team is finally stacked. Okay, they lost Jason Peters. Big whoop.
they have
just
good
replaced
pieces
him.
on the defense too.
Yeah, they have great pieces on the defense.
Their defensive line is fucking.
Their defensive line's nasty.
ridiculous,
Their offensive line, okay, it
I
might
remember-
be a little sus, but
dude,
Jalen Hurts can run.
What's going on in the division?
So
We got-
What's going
hold
on
on,
in the
hold on.
division, yeah.
So last year around this time is actually when I went to VT for a game because it was around week 1 of the NFL season, and I remember because it was the Eagles playing the Falcons, and dude, they just ran over the Falcons O-line every play. There was like 7 sacks that game, dude. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I think, and they kept a lot of those pieces. So I think, yeah, I definitely agree with you that the Eagles, but that also just goes hand in hand with there's not really that many great teams.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it difficult.
About?
Oh man, but all right. So I'm thinking teams that are definitely gonna fall apart this year. Definitely the Seahawks. They're done. They're donesos. You're going with Geno
Can you
Smith.
call it falling apart if they dismantle the team before the season even starts? Like if you're
Yeah.
already on.
Yeah, because they're not
Cinder
accepting
blocks.
it. Because they're not accepting it.
So you're saying
Yeah.
what would be accepting it?
What
If
the
they
Falcons
fired-
are doing.
If they fired Pete Carroll. And
Yes,
their
that would be
GM
accepting
before-
it.
That would be.
That would be
okay.
accepting
So
it.
like
Well,
removing all of the good players.
They
on
got
their
it,
team,
dude. Pete Carroll, you gotta get rid of him, dude.
You
He's
should have got rid of
done.
him after that fucking Super Bowl. God
Yeah,
damn it!
you
Ah,
should, dude. If they would have fired him after he lost that Super Bowl, they would have been a dynasty. They would have been a dynasty because the team would not have
Well,
fallen
you're gonna
apart.
have
They would have
Put out
had
that
so many
video
coaches
about how
wanting.
that-
No,
you're
because they
gonna
would
have
have
to-
wanted to have so many good coaches.
So many good coaches would have wanted to go. College coaches would have wanted to go there.
Not even college, dude. NFL, like I'm sure prestigious NFL coaches.
Well, what year was that? What year did they lose the Super Bowl?
That's a great question.
I'll find
But
it.
probably like some 2014 bullshit.
I'll find it.
That's my guess. 2014. My boy can't spell.
But saying they would be a dynasty if they
Oh,
would-
2015. I was off by a year. I feel like
saying
that's pretty good.
the Seahawks would have been a dynasty if they'd have fired Pete Carroll after 2015.
Yeah, I don't know about a dynasty.
I need you
Okay.
to make me a 40-minute long YouTube deep dive.
That would have been a
would
horrible
work.
draft for them for quarterbacks.
Okay, this is not the time, but
Okay, never mind. Yeah, they would have been better off just sticking with.
oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that was quick.
Oh, I meant coaches.
Very small.
Yeah,
very
you're looking
small.
at you're looking at players over here like.
You were attempting to
Dude, all those
dial
players
in.
suck though.
Cut. They did
All those
suck.
guys
They all
suck.
did
He
suck.
just okay. So reference. He just looked up
The 2015.
the 2015 quarterbacks, and then he looked up free agents. I don't know why he did it, but he did it. And it's like, dude, all those players were so bad. There was who was the top guy?
All right,
Jameis Winston?
The top quarterbacks was Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota.
And that was it. Everyone else was...
And then the free agency was like Sean Mannion, Ryan Lockett. Or not Ryan Lockett,
Drew Lock?
Not Drew Lock. Oh, shit.
I don't remember.
Dude, there was Matt Moore on
Matt
there.
Moore, yeah.
Matt Moore. Ew. Okay, so... Dom,
Yeah.
do you want to go through that... those spreadsheets with our predictions for the rest of the season? Because I think that'd be something good to get out before week 1 is our predictions for the playoffs and just kind of where we think people are going to be finishing throughout the year. And then we'll also give our week 1 prediction as well.
Let's go ahead and do week 1.
My boy's going to be munching on grapes, dude,
Yeah,
for
man, you
this.
got to stay healthy with the grapes.
I think,
Grapes all around.
hold on. I think before we get to that, though,
All right.
I would like to, can you go back to that other sheet for me,
Yeah.
please? I want to talk about the favorites, okay?
Yeah.
I think the obvious favorites, like I said earlier, are the Bills for the AFC. And for the NFC, can you really doubt Tom Brady after last year? He just threw for, he led in touchdowns and in yards. But also, I know some of his pieces aren't coming back and everything, but it's just with the NFC feeling like it's going to be so weak this year, and there's no teams you really see, I feel like, that are going to be a huge breakout, except for the Vikings. I think the Vikings and the Lions, I think, will improve a lot this year, but I would never put them anywhere close to the Super Bowl conversation.
Lions are going to go 16-0. So.
You shut your ass up, Jinx.
Ye of little faith.
Man, as much as I would love to see it, if I was a betting man, I would not bet the house on it, that's for damn sure. I wouldn't bet on them to win more than probably 4 or 5 this year.
Favorites, Super Bowl?
I'm going to go with the Lions, 16-0. And, no, but I'm pretty much with you on that one. I feel like the Bills are definitely the favorites in the AFC.
I mean, I wouldn't even put the Rams as my favorite.
No way.
Because they lost pieces.
I'm struggling with the Bucks. I'm really as a Bucks fan.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, I don't even believe in the Bucks really either.
Because their offensive line is horrible, right where Tom Brady hates the pressure.
It's like what fucking NFC? Hold on, let me. What? Hold on, I got you. No. Ooh.
And at some point,
Here you go. Here's the NFC.
you can't have Tom Brady be relied upon to be absolutely S tier. I'm not out here reiterating the cliff theory, but similar to what we've seen with LeBron is still arguably one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think that's just a fair statement to say. But he's not 2011 LeBron where he essentially dictates which team is going to come out of a certain conference, right?
Hell no.
I mean, dude,
And so I feel like it's reasonable to say you can't have your team, your team's entire destiny staked on Brady like you could for a lot of the last 15 years. And that's going to slowly progress because that's just how time works. But
who are you picking number
Okay.
1? I mean, this is impossible.
But look, okay. So I'm gonna read through this shit for the NFC, okay? And you should agree with me. None of these seem like they should make it to the Super Bowl. The Cardinals, nah. Falcons, God no. Panthers, no. Bears, you
No.
gotta be joking me. The Cowboys, wild card L. The Lions, as much as I would love to see it,
16-0, baby.
16-0. The Packers, God damn it, I guess.
Maybe.
The Rams, maybe, God damn it, I
Maybe.
guess. The Vikings,
Yeah,
playoff team.
Dark horse.
The Vikings are playoff team, I would say.
Dark horse.
But Super Bowl feels like a stretch. Saints, nah.
No.
Giants. The Eagles, possibly.
Yes.
The Eagles are
That's like the
Yes.
dark horse's
Yes.
dark horse
Yes.
is the
Yes.
Eagles.
Eagles, yes.
49ers, unless Trey Lance pulls some magic out of his ass, dude. I don't see that happening.
The Seahawks aren't even trying to get there.
I
We've
like
already
Shanahan to
established
just
that.
say, screw it. I mean, dude, honestly, they still have Jimmy Garoppolo. They could just say, screw it, pull the plug, throw Jimmy G back in there.
That's true.
They could just say, screw it, he's not working out.
And then-
I'm gonna
And
go
honestly,
with
if
soft picks,
if
then.
I'm Jimmy G,
Bills and
I'm
Bucks.
waiting for them to
Or,
do that because
Bills,
then I'm
yeah.
going to say,
Bucks.
hey, me.
Yeah. And then you got the Seahawks, laughable. the Buccaneers, you can never count out Tom Brady. You
Yep.
can never do it. I mean, it's just
They're,
a fact.
they could easily be
And
number
then
one.
you have Carson Wentz and the Commanders, which is just a joke.
No.
Get that owner out of there, dude. I don't even want to
Dude,
say
they
his
need
name,
Snyder
dude.
out of there. They need to build him a new stadium. They need him to get out.
Sucks.
They just need everything to get away from.
I
Washington.
think in my lifetime, this is the most stacked I've ever seen one conference be.
Oh, AFC is
with
unbelievable.
With the AFC, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I was trying to, like, I like to, maybe throw a few bets out there every once in a while. And just looking through the divisions and the odds and everything, betting on a division winner in the AFC is damn near impossible for most of the divisions.
Yeah.
It's really tough. It's really tough. I think a lot of good teams are going to miss the playoffs this year, and I think we'll have a sleeper that ends up winning the AFC. As much as I think the Bills,
I think the big teams are going to beat each other up.
yeah. As much as I think the Bills are the favorites, I think somebody like the Colts might be able to slide in.
Oh, I love the Colts out of the AFC.
I think they might be able to slide in because they really impressed me last year. And if they made it to the playoffs last season, they didn't choke like literal dick and balls against the Jags, dude. I mean, I think they would have been a really strong playoff team.
Well, what do you think about the quarterback switch?
The what?
The
Oh, dude,
quarterback
I
switch,
think Matty Ice.
All steam ahead, dude.
I mean,
all steam ahead.
I don't hate Carson Wentz as much as most people do. I think he's a decent quarterback.
Oh yeah. But
For me, him and Kirk Cousins are like pretty equal.
Kirk was better.
He's better, but I think they're really close.
Yeah.
They haven't really, like, neither of them have proven anything in their whole career.
You like that? That's about it. That's what they've done. All right. What do we want to do? Week 1, or do we want to do playoffs? Let's do week 1. Let's do.
Yeah.
Let's do week.
Yeah, we'll get okay. So the week 1 predictions.
All right. So the first one we got the week 1 versus Buffalo Bills at the Rams. They're Buffalo's favored by 2.5. I'm picking the Bills. I just don't really like what the Rams are doing. I think they're gonna have a Super Bowl hangover. It's Thursday night. They're not gonna be ready. It's in Los Angeles, but I think it's gonna be a lot of Bills fans there. Because just easily, I mean,
Bills Mafia's everywhere.
Bills
buddy.
Mafia's everywhere.
They're everywhere, man. Breaking tables.
Josh Allen's going to come out with a revenge tour. He
I
wants
think-
MVP. He
Yeah,
wants MVP.
he does want MVP.
And I think they're going to win the AFC, and I think they're going to start with beating the Rams. So.
I agree. There's not really much else to say. I think it's going to be a really good game. It's a fantastic game to start off the season. The NFL's smart. They know how to make their money. That's why they're bringing
Yeah.
Watson back for his revenge game against the Texans. Let me open this tweet real quick. But yeah, I think the Bills are going to take it. I definitely think that Josh Allen is going to be an MVP candidate for sure. And if he doesn't win this year, I'll be very surprised unless Jalen Hurts or something like that can drag his team to the playoffs or whatever. But yeah, I got to go with the Bills. I really believe in Buffalo this year. So, Chase.
I think it's a lot closer game to call than it seems because I feel like this game will really be a tone setter for the season.
Yeah.
Because if the Rams win this game, I think that kind of immediately squashes Super Bowl hangover doubts. And it also...
Yeah, I mean, this is a very tough game for both teams.
It also shakes the Bills just a little bit because you feel like these teams are definitely going to see each other again down the road. So
yeah, I would agree. This is definitely
be a massive tone setter, but
it's definitely a potential Super Bowl matchup, and we're getting it as the first game of the season, which is pretty exciting.
if I had to pick though, I think it'll go to the Bills. For similar reasons to what Dom said. I think there's going to be a little bit of Super Bowl hangover. These are, they're known for being a veteran team, and veteran teams generally look at the big picture more than the younger, hungrier, Bills-style teams who are still trying to prove themselves. So I think the Bills will want to take it as a statement win, but I think it'll be a lot tighter game, and either way it goes, it'll be a tone setter for the season.
All right. Yeah. So and then we got New Orleans at Atlanta. New Orleans is favored by 5.5. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Atlanta's going to be horrible this year. I think Jameis Winston's going to come out slow. I think they're going to run the ball a lot, especially with trying to get this new offensive line worked in. Pretty much, they lost a lot of defense, so New Orleans could be a lot worse, but I'm still taking New Orleans.
Pretty much enough said. Yep, New Orleans.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement here.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
To me, this comes down to do I have more faith in Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota? And even though Jameis is notorious for throwing 30 INTs, he also threw 30 TDs. So
33, thank you, sir.
Okay, right,
Notorious, buddy. And you know what? He also threw 5,000 yards. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
I'm just gonna go with Jameis and hope for the best. I'm hoping it lands heads this week, I guess.
I love Jameis. I miss him. I kind of hope when Brady retires, Jameis comes home, but we'll see. All right, 49ers at Bears. 49ers. Y'all can say what you want.
Yeah, I believe in the 49ers. Shanahan is a great offensive mind, and I think he'll try to make the most of Trey Lance. But, he's also going to heavily rely on Debo just because that's his boy. I mean, how could you not try to use Debo when you have a mind like that? So, yep, 49ers. I think the Bears might squeak out like maybe 4 wins on the season. So, as much as I like Justin Fields, just the team around him is not enough.
What you got here, buddy?
And I'm going to be honest, this is a total ignorant pick, but I'm going to go with the Bears. My gut's telling me to put my faith in Justin Fields a little bit more with the Bears offense.
The Bears.
See, but I don't feel like it's that crazy of a pick though, because I feel like it'll take a few games for that new offense for the 49ers to really mesh. If they're
it is week 1. It's week 1. They've had like 5 weeks to prepare for.
I'll be honest. I don't know a ton off the top of my head with the defenses of both teams, but if we're just looking again, being ignorant, I just go to quarterback play.
True.
And I feel like the confusion going on with the San Francisco offense, I feel like if Trey Lance was that dude, it would have been a lot more definitive with what happened with Jimmy G. I feel like it would have been much more smooth because they would have said almost immediately, all right, this is our long-term plan. The fact that they were a little bit wishy-washy and have themselves in a weird predicament, it kind of shakes my faith in Trey Lance. So I'm just going to go with a little bit of an upset and pick the Bears.
Work. All right, Steelers at Bengals. Bengals, even though Joe Burrow's coming off the appendix surgery, I think, I'm still going to pick the Bengals. I think their offensive line's going to look better. I know Alex Kappa's a beast in the line. We're going to miss him down in the Bay. But Pittsburgh, start Kenny Pickett. That's all I got to say.
I'm just going Bengals. They made a lot of improvements to their team this year, and I'm excited to see their new line and new pieces that they have. So the Steelers are definitely, I think they'll have a decent season compared to what people expect. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Bengals are definitely taking this game.
And I'm going with the Bengals for echoing pretty much the same thing Aaron said. I really like what they did after what they saw their weaknesses were throughout the playoffs and the Super Bowl. They went out and got exactly the pieces to fix those problems. And so I think they'll look to get off to a good start and really get a good rhythm going and make sure they have a good enough regular season to really set themselves up well in the playoffs. And I think the Steelers are definitely going to be looking more long game and kind of figuring out what their rhythm's going to be.
All right. I got the Eagles at Detroit. All right, so according to what we got here, I'm the only one that's picking the Eagles, and they're also favored by 4. I know you guys love the Lions this year. I know Chase is picking them 16-0.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm picking the Eagles because they're definitely my, I'm looking at the NFC, and I'm like, the Eagles are really stacked and are ready to just take the NFC. I think they're going to be the number 1 seed, honestly, and they could just run through it, get to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think whoever comes out of the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl this year, and honestly, I don't know who that's going to be. I haven't even decided that one yet. But, yeah, I got the Eagles, so.
This point is just kind of a meme, but I am going with the Lions.
Dan Campbell.
Week 1.
Motor City.
I don't know. I think the Lions will definitely impress a lot of people this season. They had a pretty decent draft. I don't know. I don't like Jared Goff at all. For
Goofball.
me, he's pretty fucking garbage tier.
Jared
But
Goofball.
I think it's just like some week 1 shenanigans. Like the Lions might do it. So
This is one of those picks where you just fully expect to be wrong, you know?
oh yeah,
But for your own self, you make the pick anyway. And so I'm going
because
with
if
the
you're
Lions.
right, the glory is insane.
The glory's insane.
I can't
and
wait to
that's
come
what
back
you
next
want.
week and just be like, "Bah!"
Imagine this pick is kind of a Christmas list.
Bro, the
This
Lions
is
blow them out 42 to nothing.
Like, this is what I'm throwing on the Christmas list, fully expecting there's no shot Santa's getting it for me. But I'm throwing it on there anyway, just in case. You know?
Yacht, baby.
Let me see Megatron come out of retirement.
Well, I'm going to look out for my kneecaps on that one there, boys. All right, Patriots at Dolphins now. The Patriots are notorious for losing in Miami.
Yes, they are.
So I definitely think I'm still going to take that trend and pick Miami. Even though I don't think Miami's going to really pan out this year. I want to believe in Tua, but
Same.
I really just don't think he's going to be their quarterback next year. I think somehow, some way they're going to get, I don't know, maybe Aaron Rodgers down there.
You're tripping, dude.
They could maybe get somebody coming out of the NFC. I don't know. Maybe get out of the draft. Depends on how they suck.
Nah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. The Ravens,
I know
Lamar
you
Jackson,
say
Lamar to
I know you
Miami
say
next
Lamar,
year,
but
man.
I just don't think
They'll
the
pay
Ravens are
him.
going to let him go.
They'll pay him.
Yeah, so will the Ravens.
Nah, I think Miami might pay him more.
All right, but anyway, we all got the Patriots.
So yeah, so basically, I agree with everything you just said, and for that reason, I'm picking the Patriots.
Yeah.
I know that they usually have a habit of losing in Miami, especially in the first and last game of the season for some reason. But I don't know. I just think that the Patriots, they kept a lot of their core together. I know I've said that a lot, but I think that they'll keep. They will have the chemistry already going in week 1, and I think the Dolphins will kind of need to build that with all the new pieces that they've added. So I think Miami will be a decent team down the line, but I think for the first 2 or 3 weeks, I think they might struggle.
Yeah.
And I really don't have anything to add. That's pretty much exactly how I feel, and I'm picking the Patriots for the same reason. I do think, this is just me like psychoanalyzing, but I think Bill now wants to kind of get rid of the ghosts of the past,
Yeah.
and so he doesn't want the Miami thing to roll into this new regime more.
Yeah.
So I think he'll try to scheme something up, and his defense will hopefully do good enough for Mac Jones just to manage them to a W.
All right, we got Ravens at Jets. I'm picking Ravens.
Ravens. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah,
on that one.
I'm probably never picking the Jets. If I am picking the Jets. I'm being honest.
Oh, fuck, man. The Jets, man.
I'm sorry, but
Not having Zach...
The
Hey,
Jets-
hey, Joe Flacco revenge game, though.
Shut
Yeah.
Flacco revenge
That's
game.
the same thing as Ryan Fitzpatrick coming in and winning 4 games at the end of the season to make the Bucks like
Hey,
5
Fitz
and,
magic, baby.
yeah, like it's awesome.
Didn't he
It's
play
great
for
to be there.
14 teams or something like that?
I don't know, bro. He's
Imagine
fucking
playing
More
for
than a
almost
few.
half the teams in the
More
NFL.
than a few. But that's
Oh,
kind of how I
man.
feel with the Joe Flacco revenge game. It'll be great, and if you're a person in a bar while it's happening, you're going to be having a good time. But
Hey,
that does
get
not
him, Joe!
mean- That does not mean I'm going to pick that to happen at
No.
any given week.
Oh, no. Ravens.
All right, so
Ravens.
we got the Jaguars at the Commanders, the commies here. The Commanders are a sad franchise, and I'm going to pick the Jaguars, even though they're even equally as a sad franchise. But I'm picking the Jags. I think their new coach actually has them together, Doug Peterson. Or not Doug Peterson. Yeah, it's Doug Peterson, right?
I have
It's
no
Doug
idea.
Peterson.
They rehired Doug?
I
We need
am.
a fact check.
I'm picking the Jags,
It is
but
Peterson.
I'm also not as much of a non-believer when it comes to Carson Wentz as most people are. So I don't know. I think Washington has a few Like, they have a few decent pieces that people seem to forget about.
Scary Terry.
Yeah, so I think this game is definitely one that could go either way, but I'm going to take the Jags. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think they're both going to be very mediocre teams this season, so definitely a toss-up. I wouldn't be betting on this one if I had to say that. I would not.
This is definitely not a betting game. I'm going to go with the Jags, mainly for a heart pick. I'm hoping that Doug Peterson gets some stability within that organization to where they're not, it doesn't feel like I'm watching Keeping Up the Kardashians when I get an ESPN alert that starts with Jaguars.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, you know, with all the crap that went on and Trevor Lawrence walking in rookie season with all that going on, that, you know, we get to actually see what he's worth and that he has some success for, you know, the future of quarterbacks in the NFL.
I don't think very many people don't want to see Trevor Lawrence succeed.
Dude, I want him to be so good.
I think most people are pretty much rooting for
I'm
him.
not a
to be
huge
good.
fan, but I just hate
I'm
seeing...
not a mega fan.
Hey, you know what? I think Christian Kirk's going to be good this year. Borderline top 5. Just saying.
Shut up.
I just hate
Shut up.
seeing...
All right.
I hate seeing good quarterbacks play themselves into bad situations and it ruin their career.
Well,
you know?
it happens all the time. Dude.
All right, we got
it happens a lot, but I always try to root
Speaking
against
of,
it.
dude, speaking of situations.
Speaking of situations, we got the Browns at the Panthers. Panthers are favored by 2.5. I think you just gotta want to pick the Panthers here. Like, I think everybody that's not a Browns fan in the NFL is picking the Panthers here. I think everybody wants the Panthers to win this game.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep. A little hometown bias for all of us, I'm sure. But, yeah, I really think Baker will not make, you know, he won't make a massive difference, but I think, you know, he can add 2 or 3 wins to our team overall.
In the NFC?
And,
in the
NFC. So, revenge game. I want the Panthers to win. I think they will win. Yeah, we'll see.
I definitely think...
Do the roar. You daddy. Do the roar.
I definitely think it's a pretty close game. I know, seeing how CMC is going to do, I'm assuming he's not hurt in the preseason, right? Can I get a fact check on
He's
that?
not hurt.
No, he's not hurt.
He just hasn't been playing.
Just making sure.
No, he's just definitely not playing the preseason.
Well, depending on how well he plays, I think it'll open things up for Baker, and if he doesn't succeed with CMC there, then I don't really know what to tell you at that point. But
hey, man,
I just think that mixed with all the Browns' uncertainty, I'm sure the Browns players in the organization are just business as usual, but with all the chaos going on.
I don't think the Browns organization is business as usual right now.
No. I'm not saying the organization. I'm saying the players themselves. I'm sure the coaches and
call me hometown bias, but I do definitely think the Panthers are a dark horse to be in the playoffs.
Well, it's just because the
NFC
is so garbage.
Because the NFC sucks.
But I've also just been watching.
They could be an 8-9 team and make the playoffs.
I've just been watching Carolina sports my whole life, and pretty much outside the Hurricanes, and even the Hurricanes, including 90% of the time, just disappoint you.
Yeah,
just
that's hockey in general.
No, not even hockey, just Carolina sports, baby. We just suck.
I need to do a deep dive.
The Hornets sports, baby.
All right.
All right,
we need to move on. We need to move on. We need to speed this up a little bit.
All right, let's speed it up. Colts and Texans. Colts.
Okay. Matty Ice.
Giants at Titans. Titans.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, but Texans and Giants probably going to be the top 2, if not 4 picks in the draft.
Texans, Giants,
they're
not good.
I'm just gonna put it there.
They're not good. All right,
Danny Dimes is not the move as much as
And I want Davis Mills to be good. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, Packers at Vikings. Okay, Vikings are at home, but Green Bay is favored by 2. I don't agree with that at all. I think the Vikings are gonna stomp the Packers on this one. I just don't really think the Packers are gonna come out swinging. They have a shit game every single year. 2 years ago, it was against the Bucks. Last year, it was against the Saints. I mean, it's going to happen to them. And I think it's going to be week 1 this year against the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to come out, and they're going to just destroy them. They're going to run the ball really hard, and Kirk Cousins is actually going to look pretty good. because it's in a 4:25 slot, not in prime time.
Well, for me, I think the Vikings are going to be very competitive with the Packers for the top of the division. This year, I think the Vikings are going to want it more, especially at home, start off the season. I think, especially because it's been, I've said it with a bunch of these teams before, the Vikings have kept their main pieces around and have only added to it, while the Packers have lost. They lost Adams, and they've just lost a few of their core people. So I think for that reason, the Vikings are taking this game right here.
And I'm going to change my pick on this one. I originally said the Packers, but the more my gut sits on it, the more I think this is going to be another season where the Packers start out rough. It's going to be a continuation with Rodgers and the receivers. And then they're going to figure it out and be pretty good come the end of the year, maybe in the playoff picture. And it's going to be a situation where they were, the Packers were never worried and, they figured it out. It just seems like that's a building season, especially with, as Aaron said, they've got rookies and they don't, the most veteran guy they have is Randall Cobb, who I'm sure is a great, mentor to have, but he is not.
He's not in his prime anymore.
He's definitely not in his prime, so he's not going to be doing it himself, put it that way.
All right, we got keep it twisted.
Keep it twisted.
All right, we got Kansas City at Arizona. Kansas City is favored by 4, even though Arizona is at home.
Dude, the Cardinals are gonna be dog shit this year. Dog.
I got the Chiefs. I don't really believe in Kyler. They're missing D-Hop.
Yeah, this team's gonna suck.
They
this year.
got Hollywood Brown. Okay, cool.
As much as I want the Cardinals to be good,
I want the Cardinals to be good, but they're gonna suck. Chiefs, baby.
But also it's the NFC.
And I hate the Chiefs, baby.
So I feel like the Cardinals could still be a playoff team, but only because this is the weakest NFC I've seen in my life.
This NFC's bad. This NFC's bad.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Chiefs. Yeah, I mean,
think,
it's pretty across the board.
We explained kind of our reasoning with the Chiefs. I could see the Cardinals winning this game if they come out with that usual 8-0 energy they've had that just disappears midway through the season.
Yeah, another game that I would not bet on.
If they come out with that and then Kansas City takes a few weeks to figure out what their ideal scheme is going to be. If both of those things happens, I could see the Cardinals winning, but I don't think that's how it's going to play out.
And then
speaking of games I would not bet on.
Raiders
at Chargers.
We're all unanimous on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're all unanimous, but I'm not sure how this game is not a primetime game because this game is wild.
Dude, I would totally.
They have fucking the Broncos and we'll get to that in a second. Trust me.
Dude, but they got.
How is the Broncos and the Seahawks?
But they got the Bucks and the Cowboys, dude.
But the Cowboys beat them last year in primetime. They had the first game of the season, didn't they?
No.
Yes. Check
sure
last year's schedule right now. I'm telling you, the Cowboys beat the Bucks game 1 last year.
I do believe that did happen.
Wait for it. That's the wild card. You need to go that way. Freeze. They won.
Buccaneers win 31-29.
Okay, well, fuck me then, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I think I don't know. The Buccaneers always kind of shit the bed. Okay. All right, sorry. Back to this. So Raiders and Chargers.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't know how it's not a primetime game, but I'm going with the Chargers on that one. I think Justin Herbert's gonna ball out this year, and I think the Raiders is. As much as I like them, I think they'll probably be the last team in the division, to be honest.
I could really see this game being kind of a Chargers statement game where they very much dismantle the Raiders.
They set the tone for the season on this
everybody kind of looks over their shoulder and was like, hey, we like the Chargers, but do we need to put them a little higher on the list here?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's potential, but I'm not confident. I'm not putting money on
that division is just...
Yeah. The AFC West is ridiculous.
All right, so Sunday Night Football, which I don't think is deservedly so. I think it's just because everybody thinks that America likes the Cowboys, which
statistically is true.
Statistically,
somewhere.
Yeah. All right, but anyway, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my wonderful Tampa Bay Buccaneers, And the Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay is favored by 1.5, so basically a coin flip. And the Cowboys are at home. All right, so I got the Bucks. Even though we have lost Ryan Jensen, we have lost Ali Marpet, and we have lost Alex Kappa, and we have lost Aaron Stinney, I still think that Dallas's defense just sucks. I think their defense is going to be horrible. I don't know why everybody's so high on it. Michael Parsons, yeah, cool, he can rush the passer, but there's nobody else on that defense can do jack diddly shit. I think that's about it. Sorry, I'm talking a little trash. I'm getting ready for week 1, but you can't argue with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Russell Gage, Scotty Miller, Cameron Brate, and not to mention Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy and Leonard Fournette. So yeah, sorry, Buccaneers all the way, baby.
Well, I'm going with the Cowboys in this one. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. I think the Cowboys are going to steal it. I don't know. I think the Buccaneers will have a better overall record on the season, but I think the Cowboys will find a way to steal this one, especially at home. Sunday Night Football. I think they'll come away with it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going with Dominic picking the Bucks for the simple reason that I have zero faith in the Cowboys. So there might be times
as a Cowboys fan,
I am like the most cautious, passive
nonchalant
Cowboys fan. I'm doing the air quotes because I will say the Cowboys are going to lose and then give you a ton of reasons why they can win. And the reason why is because the Cowboys are the most disappointing franchise of the last 30 years, I feel like, in any sport. Because they're not so bad that it gets depressing. They're just good enough to give you hope. They're just good enough to give you hope and tease you. And so you just can't buy in. So you gotta just assume it's gonna go bad from the start. You gotta be a true nihilist.
All right, and finally we have the Monday night game, which I get it. Denver at Seattle. Denver's favored by 6.
NFL likes money. That's why
NFL likes money.
That's why they built the Krusty Krab 2 right next to the Krusty Krab. Money.
And of course, why did you build the Krusty Krab 2 right next to the original? Money. There, of course, it's in Seattle as well. I do not believe in Seattle whatsoever. I think Pete Carroll should have been fired years ago. That offense has become unbelievably stagnant. They have an unbelievably beautiful offense set around. They just have a horrible offensive line. It's like if you just fix the offensive line, your offense would be great. Like you had Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Chris Carson or Penny or whoever was back there.
A lot of pieces.
But I mean, you had guys. So, but anyway,
Broncos
country.
We're all
let's
ride.
I know,
let's ride, baby.
The Seattle right now, I feel like what they're doing is they're just remodeling their house and they've got everything out of the house and they're just looking at the kitchen sink right now and trying to figure out if they're getting rid of that too. Like that's the stage to me that Seattle is.
I believe in Geno Smith.
But, you know.
All right.
We'll see what they do.
Right.
It'll be interesting.
Cool. So I think those are all. That's completely accurate. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
No.
Not
so that was our week 1, and then before the season starts, we're just gonna rapid fire off our division or our playoff standings for each division or conference.
Conference.
Yeah, sorry, conference.
So who we think was going to be the number 1 seed through down to the 7?
Yep. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna rapid fire that real quick. We've already kind of given you our opinions on every team, so we're just gonna give you our rankings here.
All right. We'll start off with Chase. Go ahead and run me down your AFC.
Oh boy.
What you
I
think?
need the list.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I need all the teams in front
You
of me
want,
because
do
I'm
you
going to get to 6 and just completely
Or you want someone else to go?
blow it. You guys go ahead.
All right. Yeah, you go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh lordy. All right. So I'm gonna start
With
with
your AFC.
the AFC. Actually, yeah, AFC.
Or you can start with your NFC.
Oh no, I'm gonna start with the AFC. Give me 1 second here. I need to think. AFC, dude.
It's going to be tough. Bro.
It's hard.
You got Buffalo. You got Kansas City. You could definitely pick a dark horse and just throw Indianapolis in there.
Okay.
Everybody could have
All right.
11 wins.
So AFC, I'm throwing the Bills in at 1.
Bills in at 1. All right.
That's pretty unanimous.
Yeah, I think
across
we
the
can
couch.
all agree. Bills might be 1.
I feel like we could probably make a pretty unanimous list of the playoff teams if we're going 7. We could get pretty doggone close. We could get pretty doggone
I might get a little
close.
saucy with it.
All right.
I'm going to throw the Chargers in at 2nd.
So you have them winning that division?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Now I'm going to go with the Colts,
Word.
the Bengals.
Okay, so they're winning their division.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so your division winners are the Bills out of the AFC East, your Chargers out of the AFC West,
Uh-huh.
the Colts out of the AFC South, and that always trips me up because they're in
Yeah.
the North, and then the Bengals out of the AFC North.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yep. And
Who
then
you
I'm
got your wild card, your 3 wild card teams?
Ravens.
Ravens, all right. Top,
Yeah.
all right.
And then I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Uh-oh. Are we not riding?
And then I'm going to throw the Patriots in there.
Whoa! Broncos Nation, let's not take a ride. Whoa, whoa.
All right. And then NFC.
NFC, who you got? Who you got?
At the top,
Put him there. Hey, buddy. You know what you got to do.
at the top, Eagles. No. Let me take that back real quick. I'm gonna put the fuck. This is tough, dude. They're all so bad. They're all. I'm sitting here looking at the list.
Fuck it, we're going to take the Broncos out of the AFC. Broncos Nation, let's ride!
Yeah, the Broncos again.
They get the 1 seed.
Fuck, man. I don't want to do it. I'm gonna put.
Put them there.
I'm gonna put the Bucks at 1.
Hell yeah, that's where you want to put them.
I'm gonna put the Bucks at 1. I'm gonna put the Vikings at number 2.
Yeah.
Eagles at number 3.
Who's coming out of the
Man.
West? You think that division's going to be the last?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw the Rams in there.
Ooh, okay. That division's going to beat each other. I agree, kind of now. I'm looking at it. All right, so you got the Bucks coming out of the NFC South, the Vikings coming out of the NFC North, Eagles coming out of the East, and the Rams coming out of the West. All right, 3 wildcard teams.
Viking. Oh, oop. Packers. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, Packers. Fuck, man. The Panthers.
You want them in the 6th seed?
Yeah.
Come on,
And then
what
the
is it?
Cowboys.
I was gonna say, come on, buddy. You know you want to put the Giants.
No.
All right, Chase, you want to go next?
That's my
Yeah,
shit.
I'll go.
You want
That's
to go?
my shit.
Yeah, I need that. I need a list.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, let him look at the NFC.
That's tough, dude. The NFC,
All right,
dude,
so
that's
Aaron,
hard.
Aaron's rankings here. He's got the Buffalo Bills coming out of the 1 seed in the AFC, running it down. You got the Bills, the Chargers, the Colts, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Patriots making it. And then in the NFC, you got the Bucks, the Vikings, the Eagles, the Rams, the Packers, the Panthers, and the Cowboys. Okay, I have
The Panthers is just like
I
throwing
have
it out
to
there.
ask you, what is compelling you to put the Patriots in there? And out of this stacked AFC, you're putting the Patriots in there in the last wild card spot?
I think they'll find enough wins across their season to make it work. I think Mac Jones is basically, it's the meme that he's Tom Brady's son. And that's, I think that Bill Belichick knew exactly what he was doing whenever he drafted Mac Jones. Very similar player. He'll be able to fit the style very well. And I think just out of that, the AFC, what is it, AFC North? South? North?
AFC
North.
East.
East. Whatever. The divisions make
Yeah,
no
but
sense.
you got to think, dude, they got Miami in there, and
They're not
I
gonna-
think
they're not
Zach
gonna
Wilson.
do
I
it.
think if Zach Wilson comes
No.
back, the Jets are not
No.
going to be a pushover.
No. The Jets and the Dolphins are going to be mid. I mean, the Jets are going to be atrocious. But the Dolphins are going to be mid. I think the Patriots will squeak by with like a Week 17 dub. get into the playoffs.
I pretty much agree with your entire AFC besides your Patriots in there in the last. I'll tell you who I would think I would put in that last AFC spot. But your NFC, I kind of like your teams. Your wild card's a little iffy for me. I like the Panthers in there. I think I'd put them in at 7. But tell me, why do you got the Rams so low? Why do you got the Rams so low?
I think it goes back to they lost a few of their pieces. I don't know. I really think I don't know. I think people are gonna have them figured out. That was their first year with Matt Stafford, and I think people are really gonna understand their offensive scheme from now on. And I just think that it's gonna be a way more competitive year for them when it comes to it, just because their pieces aren't as strong, and neither is anyone else's.
All right, Chase. So we're going to be running down your AFC 1 through 7 and your NFC 1 through 7.
Speed mine up a little bit for time. I agree with the top 2. Bills 1, Chargers 2.
Okay.
We're good there.
What you got in your 3 spot?
The Colts.
Colts in 3?
I'm not going to go with the Colts.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Titans.
Titans at 3. Okay.
I'm going to trust...
In Derrick Henry the King?
Over JT?
And Ryan Tannehill.
Ugh, Tannehill.
Mainly because...
Tannehill's booty cheeks.
I feel
Very
that...
cheeks.
Either the Colts or the Titans, I think, are going to separate themselves and put them in that slot. Because they're just going to be farming Jacksonville and Houston all season, I think. So, and I think Tennessee... has a better proven game against teams outside of their own division. So I think they're going to be able to edge out Indy and be able to take that spot.
All right, and your 4.
And then I'm definitely going to go with... Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry. The Bengals.
Yeah.
And
I think
then...
they're just going to beat each other up. All right, so you got the Bills coming out of the East, the Chargers coming out of the West, Titans coming out of the South, and then you got the Bengals coming out of the North. Who you got your 3 wild card teams?
So my 3 wild cards, I'm going with the Ravens for
Ravens,
sure.
okay. Right there in the top.
Yeah, I think they have a chance to take the division from the Bengals. But I think no matter what, those 2 teams are going to be in the playoffs. After that, Colts, I definitely think will be in there too. I'm not going to leave them totally out of the playoffs.
You hope.
Sheesh. It's a tough pick from here. It's mainly who do I have the least uncertainty with. And I'm definitely... Oh, no, never mind. It's an easy pick. The Chiefs. How have I not put them on there?
Yeah,
I
was
apologize.
waiting for it.
Can we move them above the Ravens? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're definitely...
And then move the Colts down. And then move the Ravens. Yeah. That's what I was waiting for, but I was waiting for you to realize you could put the Chiefs in there.
What I did there was I was really, really contemplating putting the Chiefs in instead of the Chargers, and then I didn't and assumed I already had them on my list. So the Chiefs, they're definitely in the playoffs for my wild card. So I'm happy with that.
So you got the NFC. What you got?
All right, so now we're going to the NFC. Now we're going to the division that I don't think, the conference that I don't think will matter as much.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Eagles for sure.
Number 1?
Out of the East. No, out of the East. But
Well,
if I had to pick my number 1 out of the NFC is going to be the Bucks.
Yeah.
Mainly because of how I picked those last couple teams. I have the least uncertainty despite a lot of injuries. The other teams, even though they're healthy, have new quarterbacks, new schemes, or I just don't have faith in them in general. Let's see. After that, I'm going to go with the Packers. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be pretty bad at the beginning of the season. Like, they could have another one of those embarrassing losses type beat. But I think by the end of the year, they will be serviceable enough to get it done in the NFC.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
So you got the South and the North.
Let's see. Bucks 1, Packers 2.
So you need the West.
I'm going to say Rams, then Eagles.
Rams and Eagles.
Because I don't think the 49ers will be... I don't think Arizona, the 49ers, or the Seahawks are going to be as good as predicted. I don't think the 49ers or the Cardinals will be outright bad, but I think the Seahawks could be. But I definitely think they're going to be worse than expectation.
All right, so you got the Bucks coming out of the South, the Packers coming out of the North, the Rams coming out of the West, and the Eagles coming out of the East. Yeah. So who you got in your wild card spots?
Immediately, I'm gonna have the Vikings in there.
All right,
because I think they are the most preeminent threat to Green Bay in the division, and I would not be shocked if Green Bay is the wild card or not in the playoffs, and the Vikings are in there. There's a scenario where that happens for sure.
All right.
After that, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I'm going to put the Panthers in there. A bit of a homer pick.
Yeah, hometown.
In the same spot, dude.
I'm not really confident in that pick for sure.
Me either.
I think the Panthers do have upside. There's a scenario where
they're good.
CMC stays healthy all year and Baker plays pretty dang well, and the defense does all right. That I don't think we've seen that in Carolina, but there is a scenario where that happens. So,
and then the last spot is the Lions.
I'm gonna believe a little bit, and then I don't really care about the rest of the NFC. The Cowboys, I have no faith. So I'm putting my faith in Motor City Dan Campbell to get the Lions.
He's doing it! The Lions, baby!
And I literally pulled this up because that's exactly what I was going to put in at 7, bro.
The Lions, baby!
Mainly because I just want to hedge my bets. Because if they do make the playoffs, even if, like, let's say they turn out to be really good, which probably not going to happen, but if they do, I want to be able to say I put my name on it, even if the reasons
I called it.
Even if the reasons are completely fraudulent, all right? My reasoning can be terrible, but if they are in the playoffs, I will milk it for every last drop. So.
Oh God!
I know
you stole my thunder, bro.
I know I left somebody off though. So who am I leaving out?
All right, so you definitely got the Bucks in 1, the Packers 2, Rams 3, Eagles 4, Vikings 5, Panthers 6, and Lions in at 7. All right, so while I get ready for my picks, Aaron, you want to ask him any questions about his picks?
Dude, honestly, how did you grow the balls to pick the Lions? That's the biggest, and also. Dude, I don't know. I don't think the Titans are going to be all that in a bag of chips this year, my dog. I think Tannehill sucks.
I don't think they will be as good as last year, but I think the Colts are going to be a strong end of the year team. I don't think their record is. I think they're a team that's going to walk into the playoffs with people feeling like they're a better team than their record is, and. You know, it's a long ways down the line, but I don't think Tennessee's prepared to make a deep playoff run. But I think the Colts could, but I don't think their regular season records are going to reflect that if that does happen.
I'm liking your NFC, but you know, I'm just I don't know, man. I don't like the Packers. I don't like the Packers and just the Lions, man. But I know the hometown bias. What did the Panthers have to do to put this thing together? I'm going to ask you that to Chase.
Honestly.
And then honestly, we're going to have to ask Aaron that too.
I always
got some hometown bias at 6.
I think this is not even just for the Panthers, but Charlotte teams in general is just, it's such a hard concept, but play well. It's very much like the Herm Edwards quote. It's always injuries when we do have good players, or we have players that are just good enough to where we're not bad enough to build through the draft. I just think that right now, Carolina, what they need is for all of their players to perform as advertised and not have a ton of injuries. If those things happen, like if CMC and Baker play 8 out of 10 of what their potential is in the public eye, I think they're good. If the defense plays decently well, I think they're good. You know, I just think with the Panthers, it's always somebody really important gets hurt, or you decide you're going to run Cam Newton 300 times a year. You know, and just set yourself up for that to happen. So as long as they just stay rock solid, stay big picture, and don't have any horrendous left turns along the way with the season, I think they could pretty feasibly get the wild card.
Yep, I think Carolina has a lot of pieces that can work and a lot of pieces that are also unproven. But I think the potential's there to be a very surprising team, especially in a very, let's put it, lackluster NFC this year.
It definitely helps them that the conference as a whole is weak.
Yep.
Which will definitely affect their wild card position.
Yep, they're just going against the division's a little tough just because the Bucks with Tom Brady are pretty much going to be unstoppable until he leaves, because he's always going to have the draw to get all the pieces that he wants and the people that he wants to have on his team. But
all right,
Dominic,
I'm gonna run them down. I'll do the AFC first, I guess. All right, I'm gonna shock some people. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Colts in at number 1.
What?
And then I'm gonna put the Chiefs in at number 2.
The Colts at number 1.
I'm just gonna pause you and say the Colts at 1 reminds me of when I was a young lad and decided to take Greg Monroe first overall in my fantasy
I'm gonna take the Bills in at number
draft,
3.
because I thought it would be a
Bills
good
at
idea.
3.
And the Bengals. And the Bengals at 4. Oh no, actually, I'm gonna take the Ravens at 4.
Oh.
I'm gonna take the Ravens at 4. And then I'm gonna take the Dolphins at 6. Because I can't figure out who I want to put 5 and who I want to put 7. But I know I want the Dolphins at 6.
No way.
I'm gonna put the Bengals at 7.
At 7?
Broncos Nation, let's ride.
You put him at 5?
Alright, I have to justify this because this is kind of wild, but I am justifying this as the AFC is going to completely just destroy each other. Like, these are going to be absolutely slugfests that are going to come down to a fucking coin flip every time. Like, these AFC games are going to be wild. I think Miami's going to be able to sneak a game on Buffalo and be able to sneak 2 against the Patriots, 2 against the Jets. That's 5 wins right there for the Dolphins, and they got an easy schedule. So I think they can easily get to 6. I think the Bengals and the Ravens, their division's going to beat them up. The Browns are not going to be a pushover. The Steelers are not going to be a pushover. Easily they could split with both of those 2 teams, both of them, and they could split with each other. So that's 3-3. So I don't know. And I think the Colts could just sneak in because their division's easy. They got to play the Jags twice a year. They got to play the Texans twice a year, and I think they can sweep the Titans. So I'm just putting the AFC in, and it's going to be similar with the NFC for me. I think the playoffs are just going to be very evenly matched. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my NFC. I got the Eagles at number 1. I got the Bucks coming in at 2. I got the Vikes at 3, and I got the the Cardinals at 4.
Cardinals, huh?
And then I got the Rams at 5. This is where I get a little... Because Chase took my Thunder, so... I got the Lions at 7.
Yeah. Hey, we're feeding
thunder.
off the pure testosterone of MCDC's press conferences.
Time to put the Commanders in there, dude.
You had to say it, bro. I was thinking
Time to put the Commanders in there, buddy.
I was thinking the Commies, but I'm putting the Niners in to be safe. I'm putting the Niners in because I think that division is going to easily have 3 people come out of it. 3 divisions come. I mean, it's like that every year. We're all like, oh, the AFC West, one of them's going to suck. It's like, no, I think the Niners can get 9 wins, the Rams can get 10, and the Cardinals can get 10 and split with and win the division, like in week 18 or something like that. I think the Eagles have the easiest track to winning the NFC. They have to play the Giants twice a year. They have to play the Commies twice a year. And I think they can beat the Cowboys twice a year. I have no faith in the Cowboys this year. I'm sorry. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get destroyed week 1. Go Bucks, baby. But Bucks, I already said I'm terrified of their offensive line, so that's all I got to say about them. I like the Vikings. I think they're a dark horse for the Super Bowl. And let's bite their kneecaps off, baby. Let's get to the playoffs at 8 and 9. I'm picking the Lions to get in at 8 and 9 because I think they're going to split with the Packers and they're going to get in. They're gonna win like week 18. Who did they play week 18? They play the Packers.
No
I'm
way.
changing my pick, bro. They play the Packers. Yeah,
Jesus.
they're gonna beat the Packers in week 18, and they're gonna go to the playoffs under Dan Campbell in year 2. No Hard Knocks curse.
Jeez.
All right, so
Well,
my rundown is the AFC. Number 1 is the Colts, then running it down: Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Broncos, Dolphins, and Bengals, Eagles, Bucks, Vikings, Cardinals, Rams, Niners, and Lions. And I think I already justified my weird one, so I think we're good there.
And my AFC is the Bills, Chargers, Colts, Bengals, Ravens, Chiefs, and Patriots. And then my NFC is the Bucks, Vikings, Eagles, Rams, Packers, Panthers, and Cowboys. And Chase.
And then Bills in the AFC, followed by the Chargers, Titans, Bengals, Chiefs, Ravens, and Colts. And then NFC, I got the Bucks, the Packers, the Rams, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Panthers, and the Lions. And yes, you can definitely tell that I stopped caring once we got to the wild card of the NFC.
I don't know, man. I think we all have some really strong playoff contenders. Obviously
I'm here for the storylines.
I'm here for the storylines.
My picks are for the storylines.
I would love to see Jalen Hurts win MVP. Like, I think he's definitely a dark horse for me. Just to kind of close out the conversation here, maybe in the next couple minutes, but. I think Jalen Hurts is definitely a dark horse MVP for me this year, but I think the easy pick is obviously Josh Allen. Even though I have them going number 3 in the AFC, I still think he's going to put up monster numbers and win the MVP.
Yeah, I think for me the MVPs are either going to be, like you said, Josh Allen or was it Justin Hurts, Jalen Hurts, yeah.
Justin Herbert. I mean, any of them.
Yeah,
can win
Justin
it.
Herbert could be a good one, but yeah. So
I think
there are a few people out there. I think.
Jonathan Taylor.
I think as always, I think for me, no, it's always going to be a quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Sadly, I think it's always going to be a quarterback.
I'd love to see Brady win it.
There's a chance that Patrick Mahomes
comes out.
It could very well be a season where Patrick Mahomes has the numbers on paper and everything looks good, but there's someone else like a Justin Herbert who has similar enough numbers to where they decide to give it to him because of the narrative and so on and so forth. So I would say Patrick Mahomes is the player I would put my money on for MVP, as even though he's not the front runner right now. But I think if he put himself in a position to win MVP, he would have to do it demonstrably more than second place, and I don't have as much faith in that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we pretty much covered all we wanted to talk about here before week 1.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, this is a sport ball podcast. We'll talk about more sports other than football in the future.
Some F1.
Yeah, some F1, some hockey.
We'll definitely talk about NBA when it gets down to it. I mean, we're not big NBA guys, but we've got to talk about some like local teams. Like, we love Charlotte sports. Definitely talk about the Hornets, the football club here. Canes, go Canes, baby.
Yeah, go Canes, baby.
So anytime we got Charlotte sports coming through and stuff like that. We also like to cover some wacky sports, maybe like once a month or so. Like, we went to a bar one time and we saw these. I don't even know, man. It was like chariot racing.
Yeah, it was like chariot racing. So pretty much once a month we're gonna focus on a different, unique sport that you probably haven't heard of, and we'll just keep you updated on it. We'll do stuff like fencing, or I know a lot of people are trying to get into Formula 1, so that's probably the first one that we'll tackle. Will be Formula 1 for this month. But yeah, we're really excited. We hope you guys keep listening.
We'll try to come out at least once a week.
Once a week,
how it works out.
Hopefully. Yeah. If not, we'll definitely be getting at least 1 or 2 out a month. So just bear with us. We're trying to get a little bit better and get some better equipment and stuff. But other than that, we're excited for week 1. We're excited for all the possibilities, and can't wait to keep sharing our antics with you guys. So.
And I will continue to make ignorant picks. So
go Lions, baby!
16-0.
Faith in my picks. Just
16-0.
cease that now.
Yep, 16-0.
It's all going to be for the fun.
All right.
All right. Well,
appreciate it, boys.
That was sports ball.
Oh yeah. Sports ball.
Sports ball.